Hey everyone, welcome to Foreside Football. Today it's just me and Ali.
Yeah.
Uh, Russo and Randy couldn't make it, but today we're just gonna talk about international news, more specifically Poland, Portugal, and Ecuador. So Sandro, you could just jump right into it about Portugal if you want.
Yeah, no problem. So Fernando Santos gone. I think a lot of the fans were looking forward to that, a fresh perspective into the group. Um, so they decided to go with, Roberto Martinez. People who don't know him, he was at the helm for Belgium for a few years, their golden age, that time, and they had no trophies. So I don't know. Like, I have a mixed feeling so far. I'm gonna give him a chance. Obviously, I'm not gonna throw him under the bus right away, but Portugal's a very young squad. We have a lot of up and comers. Are we gonna be the next team to have that golden age of starters? And Roberto Martinez fumbles it again. That's really where I'm a little concerned about. How is he gonna play? How's he gonna play certain players? So if someone's asking me today, are you excited for him? I'm gonna be like, yeah, but also no. I don't know if he's a step up from Fernando Santos, or if he's a step down. But like I said, gotta give him a chance. I was very surprised to see him. Honestly, there was a few coaches from Portugal that they were looking at, even Jose Mourinho, and I was just like, I remember him saying, "I do want to coach international football." So I thought maybe this was it. So seeing Roberto Martinez get appointed was a shock to me, but let's see what he can do. I don't know. It's going to take a lot of convincing from me.
So would you consider it a success if Portugal's rated number one for about 6 years, but they don't win anything?
Uh, See if he can bring us to number one, because at this time I have no knowledge of Portugal ever being ranked number one. Like, they've been top five. Like, I'm not saying Portugal sucks in that type of way. There's like Brazil, Argentina, like even Italy at one point. Those were the teams that had the number one rank. Portugal, even when we won in 2016, they weren't going to give us the number one spot. So I think again, it's very divided in my opinion. Some fans will be like, okay, we didn't win anything, but we were FIFA number one for 6 years. And then some people might be like, oh, Martinez did this with Belgium. He just did the same thing with us. No Euro, no Nations League, no World Cup. So I don't know. Yeah, to me, if that were to happen, I would be happy because Portugal's number one, but also at the same time, we have no trophies to back it up. So it's like he pulled the same thing, just with another nation.
I mean, I would say okay, so like right now, the squad you have, there's nothing you could compete for until when Euros is next summer,
Yeah, no, yeah, it would be next summer, 2024.
2024. So that's the earliest competition you guys could compete for. So
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like Nations League for Portugal is done. Like, they got
yeah,
eliminated
they
in
did.
like the mini group stage. They're not going to the final. So his first test is definitely Euro. Yeah, Euro qualifying, like that whole group stage leading up to the Euro, championship.
So what would you say? What are your expectations for that first tournament? Like first, let's start with this actually. Who's in the squad and who's out? Like who would you say is coming out of the squad going into Euro 2024?
Okay, so I think I would have to look. You know what? Give me a second. We get the squad up.
Mhm.
There's a few names. Obviously, I don't foresee. I'm not sure what relationship he's going to have with Ronaldo. That's the big one right there. Is Ronaldo and Portugal done? That's like, again, the big question. Is he a fan of his, or is he going to just start, with the new generation of players, right?
I mean, it's crazy that Ronaldo's even still in the talk because no disrespect to Ronaldo. I mean, I'm wearing his jersey right now,
I was like,
but
yeah, you're wearing someone's jersey there.
but I mean, if he's still doing it at, what is he gonna be next summer? Like 39,
Yeah, like almost 40.
almost 40. That'll be impressive. I would not see him personally. Like, I love Valencia, but Valencia is, I think, 35 right now. And I don't I wouldn't want him starting the next Copa America, and that's next summer too. So
Exactly. So it's very, very up in the air with Ronaldo. I'm gonna say no. Like I'm gonna say Ronaldo is done with Portugal. Like it's either he doesn't get selected or he just retires. I don't see him in the next Euro. So that's one player that's gonna be kind of gone. Another one is Pepe, like again, a legend for Portugal, but it's time. Like we have a lot of young defenders looking to make a move. One in specific, you got Davide Carmo, who is at Porto right now. Started with Braga, made the move to, I guess, the bigger Portuguese team, but he's 23, looking to make a move to the national team, right? Like to cement his spot. And I think he's definitely someone who can. Other players, like I'm not sure. It's a young team already. This is what I mean. Like it's not a lot. He's going to change. I think, again, Ronaldo, Pepe, those are set in stone. Other than that, the back line is very young. The midfield is a perfect balance of young and experienced. And the forwards, even without Ronaldo, you got Rafael Leao and Gonzalo Ramos, who made a stamp already with the national team, a hat trick against Switzerland at the World Cup. Joao Felix, if he can recapture his form at Chelsea, that he's young as well. Obviously, he's going to have that mixture. I'm not saying get rid of all the older guys, but it's a good squad. I think he's walking into a good situation. It's just, can he execute these players the right way?
so
Even
would you
with
say this squad is better than Belgium's 2018 squad that he's walking into?
Ooh, I'm going to say no right now, because that was just, I think peak Belgium was 2018. That was the World Cup, as we saw from this World Cup, where they crashed and burned in the group stage. But I've said in the past, like the best Belgium team that had a chance to win a trophy was that World Cup team in 2018. They came so close, but ultimately fell short.
We should
At
make
the
like
moment,
a video essay on Belgium.
maybe, yeah, I would have to, we can really go in depth on that squad there.
What are you gonna say though?
Yeah, like, so what I was kind of saying is he has a good squad to deal with Portugal. I'm not going to put it over 2018 Belgium, but I think he could turn this squad into a similar team like 2018 Belgium, like that kind of dominance, like heavy favorites in the tournament. I think he can do that. I got to see if he can execute it with the young guys and see what experienced players he's keeping. Again, big question is Cristiano Ronaldo. That's the one. Is he going to have at least one tournament with him, or is he going young and the restless with this Portuguese squad?
So what would you say would be a successful first tournament for him?
Like at the Euro, like finish wise?
Yeah.
If he can maybe, like for a first tournament, if he can get Portugal to the semis, that's what I'm thinking right now. Like with the amount of stuff you did with the Belgium team, you came close, right? So for your first time around with Portugal, with or without Ronaldo, if you can get that team to a semifinal, I would even settle for a quarterfinal. I would be like, okay, future's bright. He got this team first time around, quarterfinal, semifinal. We're on the upward, basically. That's what I would kind of take from that.
Yeah. That's not about show. And then I think right after that, you guys would have Nations League around.
Yeah, like Nations League, but then like the big one is how is he one? Will he be in charge by 2026 World Cup? That's the question, right? So
Why? When's his contract end?
I think they said 2024 at the or wait, to 2023, 2025. So I think the Euro is going to be a very big tournament for him, and if he doesn't show up, will he be at the World Cup? Will he be managing? So I don't know. This could either be a really short stint, or it can be a really, long one. Like I can see 5-6 years.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
not
know.
bad because I thought he was staying until 2026, like the World Cup. And I thought like, oh no, like that's not ideal. Like if I was Portuguese, I wouldn't want to stay for the World Cup because I mean, like Belgium didn't win nothing, man. And
That's
I know
what,
you
yeah,
think Belgium,
see, we're saying the same thing, right? The best thing he did with Belgium was third place, yes, at the World Cup. They brought home, at least a bronze, but you didn't get the trophy. You got a silver from the Nations League. You lost to France in a game which they were leading, right? And then they kind of fell apart near the end.
yeah,
I don't know. To me, as your one shining moment for a Tedger is we were world number one for a few years. Like that's nothing, right? Because a lot of people don't really care about those rankings either. Like I've met some people that are like, I don't know, like they're sketchy. It's true. Like you can have the doubters, right? So for Belgium to be like, oh yeah, we were good, we were world number one, but your trophy cabinet's empty. You just
yeah.
have a couple, second, third place. And that's nothing to a lot of people. I get personally for their fans, they're probably really happy with those finishes, but again, they had so much potential. They could have been a World Cup winner in 2018 easily, and it just didn't happen. It wasn't their time. The golden generation, in my opinion, as I've said before, is done with them. I'm not sure who Belgium has to success him, but I don't know. It's another opportunity for Roberto Martinez. It's you can argue it's a bigger team than Belgium, maybe not recent years, but like historically, Portugal's been more successful. Let's see if he can get it right the second time around.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. He has qualifiers, Euro qualifiers, Europe, and then after Nations League.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff before the European, for the Euro Cup. A lot of stuff we can see from this team, and if he's there for the World Cup, let's see if he can do it, right?
And quickly, what are your 2 cents on Poland?
So Fernando Santos, I think, like I said, he did not have a bad tenure at Portugal. I get near the end, I think people are like, it's time to shake things up, and that's okay. Every now and then, you gotta move on from these guys, a fresh perspective. He did deliver a Nations League and a Euro, so he has the backing. But the whole Poland team is a little, I don't know, is a little up and down. Lewandowski's probably not going to be there long. It's kind of like the Ronaldo situation with Martinez. So I'm not sure how long he's going to have with his star players. They're a young team. So again, let's see what he can do with that Polish team. But he did favor the vets over the youngsters with Portugal near the end. It was a surprise that he put Ronaldo on the bench and picked Ramos. That was like a shock for us all. But majority of the time, he picked a more older squad, more experienced, that didn't really give a lot of the youngsters the chance. So I don't know if he can do that with Poland. They have a lot of young talent. I don't know. Like that again, like that one, I want to see how he does. So I'm not gonna throw him under the bus just yet.
For
But
Euros, did he pick like the younger squad? I don't know if you could think back that long ago, but was that Euro, was that like always going for like more veteran, like you're saying now, or was that the group that he just decided to go? That was the group that won the Euros, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna run with this group for the next like 5 years.
I think there was a few added talent to that group, but I feel like it was the same thing. Like he picked like, okay, we just won with this group. Some of them had retired, like Adair, who scored the game-winning goal in 2016, was pretty much done after that. Like he's the hero to us all, right? It wasn't Ronaldo, it was Adair. We'll forever remember his name. But I think he rolled with a similar squad, added some different pieces. Bernardo Silva, he had added, right? Because 2016, he didn't blossom into the player he is today. So he was getting very minimal chances. Bruno Fernandes was another one. So he's definitely added some talent to the squad. But I think it was 2018 World Cup. The squad was very similar to the Euro with a few added, players there. I know this is, some of it's like on and off. I would have to look at those squads to be a little bit more in depth, but on top of my head, I'm pretty sure he fielded the same starting 11 pretty much.
Well, that'll be exciting to see how he does with this Polish squad.
Hey, you know what? He was good. Like for again, like Santos, he's been in Europe for a while. Before Portugal, he was Greece. Like he was the manager for the Greece national team. Then we took him from them. He did some pretty good stuff with Greece. They were on a cold streak. He brought them to the World Cup in 2010. And 14, he was already with Portugal. So yeah, he helped Greece out, getting them to some tournaments.
All right, sorry guys, just some technical difficulties, but that's okay because it allowed me to change into my other jersey. But Sandra, you could just finish off with your thoughts on Fernandez and Martinez. I mean Santos and Martinez.
Yeah, again, for both of them, I'm excited to see what they can do with their new squads. Can Roberto Martinez deliver a World Cup in Portugal? Like we're gonna have to see, right? But again, I'm excited to see his input on the squad, and it's only a matter of time till we see him on the big stage again, right? The Euro is not that far away. Same thing for Santos. It's again, I didn't think he was gonna go to Poland, but he's looking for a new challenge himself, and I'm excited to see what he can do with that squad. So they're both similar in this situation. And just before you talk about Ecuador, I'm just going to say it, Santos, thank you for everything you did for the Portuguese national team. You'll forever be remembered as the manager that delivered our very first international trophy, the Euro Cup 2016. May not have been all sunshine and rainbows, but again, thank you. You will be missed, and good luck with Poland.
Yeah, no, two trophies for you guys. I'd be so happy,
That's it to me. I get it. There's no World Cup, but it's a Euro and a Nations League. So much respect for him.
Nice. So now we'll talk about the last part of our video. Ecuador. It's not going to be too long, but I'm sure a lot of Ecuadorians out there know Gustavo Alfaro has left Ecuador. I wouldn't say left, just they didn't renew his contract just because his contract ended. And I was just telling Sandra I was going to get into it, but I'm not sad, but I'm not happy because Gustavo Alfaro was, I want to say, the definition of a perfect rebuild coach. He grabbed Ecuador, and I'm sure you guys remember the long speech I had before the World Cup of how Ecuador was and what our coach did for us. But he grabbed the struggling Ecuador and he made them to a team to be scared of. I want to say terrified or scared, but that, okay, Ecuador is not a walk in the park,
Not to be taken lightly.
Yeah, not
exactly.
To be taken lightly.
Perfect example there.
So, as you said, thank you, Gustavo Alfaro. You brought out players like Moises, Plata, and Hincapié, who probably not a lot of other coaches would have done, And I want to say another thank you. He went out there to Europe, to South America, to North America to watch our players play games. Not a lot of coaches do that too. They just like to stay in Europe, or some even like in Mexico, you just want to stay in Mexico and watch their players. Not like Tata Martino, but in the past, right?
No, I hear you.
So I also, when I saw him doing that, I remember he was going like on a world tour for just watching players play. And I'm like, well, I was so grateful for that, And just I want to say thank you to him. I would have loved to have had him for maybe and I know this sounds stupid, and this would be my dream, is if they renewed him for like 6 months, just to start off our qualifying campaign, because I don't know if you know, but World Cup qualifying already starts for South America this summer.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
starting off early.
Really quick. So I would have loved for him to get like those 2-3 games with the national team, have a farewell, maybe a friendly in Ecuador, and have his farewell game, and just start us off on the right foot, because that's what he's good at. He's good at starting teams off, I feel like, in the right foot. So he would start us off in the right foot, and we would get another coach in sometime after. Because like Gustavo Alfaro is great, but he's not, and everyone in Ecuador knows this, he's not really, I'd say, like a coach that'll bring you to the end. Like if he had Argentina, he wouldn't win Argentina that World Cup. If he had Brazil, he wouldn't have Brazil win a World Cup. He would have done a good job of a rebuild though, and starting teams off, and not to take lightly, like he wouldn't just destroy a team. He knows what to do with them. So what we're looking for now is a coach that could not obviously win us the World Cup, but to be more realistic, a Copa America, bring us to that finals, And there's only 3 options right now. I'm just gonna pull them up really quickly right now. One of them is Gareca. Do you know who Gareca is?
I do not.
So
I'm gonna look into them afterwards, because I am very curious to see the short list of managers Ecuador is looking to hire.
Right now, there's only 3. So one is Gareca, and he's the coach, or I would say ex-coach, for Peru.
Okay, so South American.
American.
He has that background.
He's Argentinian, and he has that. He brought Peru, and I don't want to disrespect Peruvians, but if we were to go like head to head, player for player, of comparing that 2018 Peru squad to Ecuador's current squad, I would say Ecuador has a better squad.
Fair enough.
So, and everyone says, I feel like a lot of people like agree with that statement, because they praise the coach so much for he got the best out of each player on that Peruvian squad. Like he made them play out of their skins to get Peru to the finals, which they haven't done, and to get Peru to the World Cup after I think 56 years isn't something to be taken lightly. And a lot of them didn't play in Europe. If I think more than 2 didn't even play in Europe. So I feel like he did a really good job with them. So with this Ecuador team, he could probably even do better, So with this Ecuador team, I feel he would do a better job. It's perfect. I feel like he would get the best out of each one of these players. Gustavo Alfaro introduced these players, made them start off on a good foot, and now we need a coach to get the best out of them.
To push them over the edge. I like it.
So would he be my ideal coach? I'll get into that at the end. He's not I would say out of these 3, definitely the coach that I would want. The next person we have is Miguel Angel and Guillermo Almada. So these coaches, one of them plays for the U, or one of them just finished playing coaching for Charlotte FC.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte FC didn't perform the best this season, I would say. Again,
no, very underwhelming.
Very underwhelming. So he didn't have a really good showing. But what he does have, and the reason why he's on our radar to be one of the next coaches, is that he was the coach for the U20 Ecuador squad that brought them to the 3rd place in the U20 World Cup. So
imagine what he can do with the same players, but a little bit older now.
Exactly. He has familiarities with Plata and Campaña, who's not on the squad right now. Hopefully he joins that squad. And Moises Caicedo, right? He has familiarities with them. So that's one of the reasons on my radar. And then the other guy is the current coach of Pachuca. I don't think you know what Pachuca is.
In Mexico?
It's a Mexican team, that just finished winning Liga MX.
Yeah, no, I know a little bit about the Mexican league, so the name is familiar. Yeah.
So, and it's such a coincidence that like the world works funny, is that I just went to Mexico, and I don't know if you remember. I went to two cities, Mexico City and Pachuca.
Hmm.
And I went to go watch a Pachuca game, and on that team they have Ibarra, and I got a jersey. I went to go watch them play. They played Atlas. I think they beat them 3-1, and they played good. But I didn't think, oh, like, I never heard of this team. I'm happy I got to see them play, and they played good. Little did I know is that they were gonna go on to the playoffs and win the whole thing
Oh
very
wow.
comfortably. I think the lot in the semifinals, like it was 6-1 on aggregate. So it's really impressive. And I think in the finals it was 4-1 on aggregate. So they didn't
A
struggle at
walk
all.
in the park for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
walk in the park.
So he is a good coach, and there all these options are, I would say the only one they have their good reasonings, right?
Yeah.
Like they have the reasonings behind them. I see why these are the three favorites and why Ecuador, the federation, is talks with them. But I just feel like we could do a little better. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we could get a better coach out there.
Oh yeah. And who's this coach on now? Come on, Alejandro.
I
Who is
don't.
your number one on the short list?
No. You asked me this at the wrong time. I don't know who that coach is.
Ah,
I
come
don't know
on.
who it is. I just know we could get a better coach. I would say we. Nah, I don't know. I'm gonna say we would have a shot at Enrique, but I wouldn't want him. I'm gonna sound. I'd rather have Gareca than Enrique. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's fair to say, just because Enrique has his own style, and I feel like he kind of would just do what Alfaro's already done for us, introducing the young players, all that stuff. We're good with that. He was great at doing that with Spain, but that's not what we really need right now. Um, my number one, I'm just gonna say, is Pep Guardiola.
Okay. Well, of course. Who wouldn't want Pep?
just just because me and my little cousin we're just talking and having fun like a year and a half ago when he was, because he loves Pep because he was a Barca fan.
Oh,
And
okay.
he was saying, oh, like Pep Pep has said that he wants to win, because I was saying, oh, it'd be crazy if Pep coached Spain. And he's like, oh, I don't think he'll ever coach Spain. I'm like, why is that? And it's like, oh, because him and the federation will get along. I didn't know that until he told me. And he's like, but there is a chance, because he said before he retires, he wants to win a Euros, a Copa America, and a World Cup. So once he told me that, I'm like, a Copa America? Interesting. Who would he
Interesting.
who would
Yeah.
he what team is he gonna take? Chile? No. At the time, Gareca was the coach for Peru, and Gareca said that he was gonna re-sign with Peru, renew his contract if they made the World Cup. Unfortunately, they didn't, and that's why he hasn't re-signed with them. Brazil, I didn't think he would go with Brazil because Brazil's like to keep Brazilian coaches.
Yeah.
Argentina's a good
It's like
shot.
an unwritten rule. Yeah.
And then Argentina, there's a shot at. Colombia, there's a shot at. But Ecuador, up and coming stars, Ecuador, who are going to host the 2024 World Cup. 2024 Copa America. I'm like, see, that to me looks special. I think he would want that. But that'd be my number one pick because it's Pep Guardiola. He said he wants a Copa. But
Well, that is a long shot, but it's the world of football. So never say never, right?
who knows? Maybe this summer he he's like, hey, I like this Ecuador team. But anyways, out of those three, I would say Gareca. I want him.
At least short term. Like I think he would be a good short. Like if anything, 2 years, get him to like the Copa. He starts you off in the World Cup qualifying, and then go from there. He might actually be the guy that this team needs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's when you extend. So I don't know. Out of the three, again, I gotta look a little more in depth on their careers, but I trust your judgment, so I would go with him if he's still available, right? If no one snatched him up, I would offer him a contract, see what he can do with this young squad of amazing players.
Argentinian coaches have been having a good time, and except for Tata Martino. But you look at Scaloni, won the World Cup. Alfaro did wonderful with Ecuador. Gareca has done wonderful with Peru. Um, yeah, like I say we take a shot at it. He says he doesn't want to leave South America. That's what he was offered the job. I think I want to say he was offered the job from Morocco,
Oh wow.
but this was before the World Cup because I don't know if you know Morocco fired their coach like right before the World Cup.
Oh no, I know. That's why it was that run was so memorable because coach was a rookie essentially with the squad.
Yeah, so he was offered that, but he like denied it just because he says he wants to be in South America with his family where he's familiar, like the culture and everything. So hey, like he was staying at
Exactly.
Peru for a long time. Argentina, Ecuador is right beside it. So I see why.
Not going far. Not going far.
Yeah, exactly. So and shout out to my Peruvians out there who is one of the main reasons Castillo did not go to the World Cup. I would have loved nothing more than for their favorite coach in the world to smack them
Oh wow.
with their rivals Ecuador. So
Cut deep. Cut deep.
so it's funny because if we had this YouTube channel like a year ago, there 100% would have been a clip of me saying, and I guess we could get this clip right now. But I was saying I do not want the Peruvian coach to coach Ecuador just because he was the Peruvian coach. And then now here I am a year and a half later saying, please give us the Peruvian
Yeah.
coach.
Hey, it's okay. People change. A little change of heart. That's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I'll just say my farewell to Gustavo Alfaro. Um, it's gonna be a little harsh. Do I say it was a successful experience? Yes and no. I mean, we wanted to make it out of the groups, and we haven't talked about Ecuador since the World Cup for good reason. Um,
Tough ending. Tough ending.
I'm not. I don't. I still don't. I'm not ready to
It's
talk
okay.
about them. But our goal was to make it out of the groups. We didn't make it out of the groups. He did make us history, beating the host nations the first time ever, putting up a great fight against Netherlands. But then you look at the Copa America. You know, we didn't win a single game. That streak continues of Ecuador, I think, for the last 22 years or 20 years, 21 years, something like that. 20, I think it's 21 years, has yet to beat another South American in the Copa America. And yeah, we got destroyed that last game. Qualifying, we dropped the ball a little bit. We were in third, we had it in the bag. All we needed to do was get 2 points in those last games, and we didn't. We got one. But it was also successful because, like I said, he brought out these new players. We beat the host nation. We put up a good fight against Netherlands, and we look pretty good. The days we played good, we looked amazing. The days we played bad, we didn't play that good. But thank you. You know, he is a father figure to all these Ecuadorians. They've all said it because they're so young, 18, 19. He was there to always comfort them, push them hard. And I am thankful for him. At the end of the day, I'm happy he was our coach. I would do it all over again. All that pain and all the success, I would do it all over again because I'm happy he was our coach. So thank you, Gustavo Alfaro. And it was a good run. And I wish you success for whatever comes in the future.
That was very touching.
Yeah. But all right, so I think that'll be the end of the episode. Next episode, we will be talking about MLS. So that
All right.
Shout out to the MLS fans, soccer. But that's why Sandro's wearing that sweater there. It's a little cameo, a little teaser. Easter.
Yeah, this is the Vancouver stuff. Don't worry, I'm gonna get the TFC stuff on for the MLS video. I've had this for so long; it's like a training sweater at this point. But yeah, Will cameo Vancouver.
Maybe I have a TFC jersey that I used to have when I was 11 years old. Probably doesn't fit me, but we'll see.
I got a couple of scarves, so I'll just pack those off.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and share with a friend.